With the Olympic Games taking place in Rio, Brazil in August 2016, 12 months ahead of the event, the iconic Copacabana Beach was the backdrop for the elite triathlon test event. The women were the first to go, a beach start in the early morning sun, one out and back lap of 1,500 metres in the warm waters of the Atlantic. The locals had turned out in force to create a great atmosphere. The field continued to stretch itself out over the duration of the race, but home favourite Pamela Oliveira was right at the head of the pack. After just over 19 minutes in the water, it was New Zealand's Rebecca Clark that was first back onto the beach, followed by Oliveira and the USA's Sarah True. Back to transition, and it was True, followed by her fellow American Katie Zafiras. Both have had great seasons in the ITU World Championship Series so far. Once onto the bikes, it was 8 laps of 5 kilometres for the athletes to negotiate, all making sure not to mount the bikes too early and incur a penalty. In the prelude to next year's main event, crowds lined the route, giving the athletes a real taste of what to expect in 2016. It was a large lead group of 30 that were setting the pace, urged on by their coaches from the sidelines. 2 Germans were doing their best at the head of the chase pack. Sophia Sala took her turn at the front, just ahead of Hannah Philippin. As the athletes swept into the downtown section of the race, current WTS Series leader Gwen Jorgensen had moved ominously to the front of the group as she went in search of a remarkable 12th win in a row. The great aerial shot showed how congested it was in T2. With the race having split into 3 distinct groups, the leaders had over a 1-minute lead on the chase group. With so many out in front, it was sure to be a fast pace. Flora Duffy was nicely in touch, but had the imposing figure of True right beside her. Not surprisingly, as the 10k run wore on, the field started to stretch out. Jorgensen and Great Britain's Vicky Holland were in a group of 7 trying to break away. That would soon become 3, with True just behind them, as Holland was joined by fellow Brit Non Stanford in trying to prevent another victory by the seemingly unstoppable Jorgensen. And as they approached the end of lap 3, the American hit the accelerator and forged in front, taking Stanford with her, and the other 2 were left in their wake. But it was Jorgensen who dominated the final lap as she made her break as the bell sounded. The American ran the final 2.5 kilometres on her own to take gold and book her place in the event next year. Stanford crossed the line in second, 19 seconds back. But like Holland, who came in third, still has to confirm her place due to different qualifying criteria for the British athletes. But once again, it was Jorgensen's day.
I guess this swim was a little tougher than I was expecting. It was a little bit rough for me and I didn't come out where I wanted to, but thankfully I was in that front pack. It was a big front pack. I actually thought this one would break it up a little bit more. But yeah, the hill was kind of fun, broke up the bike course a little bit, kept it entertaining, and it was hot. We raced early in the morning, but it was still pretty hot out there.
I was really unsure how I was going to go today. I knew I'd had 8 weeks of good training, but before that, training racing had been all over the place. So, back in February time, I just started back running by doing steps up and down the forest, and I think that I've gone from there, to coming second at the test event just sort of shows the progress that I've made, and that's what I'm happiest with most, really.
The biggest feeling is relief, because we have a 2-stage process to qualify. This was only the first stage, so I needed to get through this stage to give myself a fighting chance in Chicago. So to finish on the podium was absolutely what I needed to do, so I've ticked that box, and now I need to go to Chicago and do the same again, and then I can ensure that I'll be here next year.